Hello, welcome again to Practice with Polly. The weather here in South Carolina has changed. We have a low front coming in. And you might notice when it gets cooler, or if you have a storm system coming in, you might feel a little bit different in your body. And one of the places might be your joints. So I learned this very nice quick sequence from my teacher, Larissa Hall Carlson, and I'd like to share it with you today. It'll move all the joints in all the planes of the body. If you're sitting around and you feel a little stiff, you can get up and you can do this series. You can do it in the morning when you get up, or any time that you feel stiff in the joints. So it begins by finding a nice firm stance. And once you get that nice stance in yoga, we call that a nice Tadasana. Put a little bit more weight on your left foot and let that right foot go back on the top of the foot. Pull up out of the left leg. Maybe the hands could go on the hips. And then just rotate at the hip, that right leg, about 8 times in a circle. Looking ahead or looking down on the floor will help steady you. And then go the opposite direction for about 8 times. Breathe as you're doing this and focus on that straight leg being nice and strong and the twirly leg being nice and loose. And then place that right foot down and move to the other side. Left leg goes back, stand nice and tall out of the right leg, and then gently rotate that leg in a nice easy circle. Breathe about 8 times. Depends upon how stiff you are. And then rotate it around the other direction. Keep breathing, keep lifting out of that straight leg. Nice, come back to the center and find a nice width at hip level. Hands come to the center and interlace. Elbows come as close as they can together, maybe they'll touch. And at about at shoulder height, and begin to rotate the wrists. About 8 times, and then reverse it. Stop. Open up the fingers and interlace them the opposite way. So it's going to feel a little strange. Bring the elbows as close as they can come together. Drop the shoulders down the back. Lift the elbows about shoulder height and rotate through the wrists. Breathing. Still standing strong through the legs. Nice and supportive. And then reverse that rotation. Nice. Release that and maybe give it a little shake. Moving to shoulder rolls. Inhale the palms back, inhale the shoulders up, turn the palms forward, and then reach down into a nice stretch with the back of the head lifting up and the fingers reaching to the floor. Try it again for about 8 times. Breathe through it. And then most people do not have to curl their shoulders closer together. Most people are hunched anyway. So if you rotate the opposite direction, for me I do this much less, maybe only half the rotations, because for me I need to rotate my shoulders back. So I always end back with some shoulder rolls moving back, opening through the chest and opening through the shoulders. Nice. Once you have that, step the feet just a little bit wider. Nice firm stance, looking straight ahead. Maybe you even close your eyes. Imagine that your nose is a laser pointer on that far wall. And then begin to move in an infinity pattern, a figure 8 that's lying on its side. That figure 8 can be, or that infinity sign, can be as tall or as narrow or as wide as it feels good for your neck. This is a left-right brain activity. Next time you come to the center, reverse that. This might be your non-dominant side, so it might feel a little jerky. Smooth it out as much as possible. Letting the neck just flow. And then come to the center and now make a figure 8. I'm still drawing on that far wall with my nose, imagining it. And that figure eight, again, could be as tall or as short, as wide or as narrow as it feels good for you. Shouldn't have a bunch of popping or cracking. It should just be a nice, easy flow. Come to the center and reverse that direction. Moving through that, breathing. And then coming back to stillness. Take the feet a little bit wider. Feet now can be slightly pointed out if that feels more stable for you. Tailbone is straight down. Scoop and lift the lower belly. And rise out of the legs, lifting the chest. This is going to be just a twist with the arms. So the hips will stay forward and the arms are just like ropes going back and forth. If you begin to feel dizzy, slow it down or stop. So we're trying to really stretch through the chest here, the thoracic vertebrae, and really let the arms go. And then you might even look over the back shoulder. Breathing through that. And again here, how many times you do this is really until you feel like you're loosening up. You might even tap on the trapezius muscle. That's a nice marble point. And you might even tap on the back, right above about the kidney level, with the back of your hand. And then as you slow down slowly, never coming to a sudden stop. Just slowing down slowly. Until you stop, pause a moment, and notice how that feels. Beautiful, the hands come to the hips. Tailbone is straight down again. Imagine that it's drawing a circle. It's a laser pointer and it's drawing a circle in between your feet. So you begin to move in a circle pattern. And as you move into this circle pattern, begin it at the tailbone and see if you can roll it all the way up the spine. From the tailbone up to the crown of the head. Now this could be a small movement, a medium-sized movement. And some people really like to get this movement nice and deep and big. For me, I kind of like in the middle. Seems like I get the best spiral. Moving up to the crown of my head and then reverse that. And about 8 or so in each direction. Again, you're going to notice your body and notice where it needs it. Imagining kind of like you're doing a hula hoop here. And then coming to a stop, walking the feet together. And here, the hands will come down to the thighs. The feet are either together or slightly apart. Lower belly is scooped in and up. Really scoop that lower belly in and up. Drop the shoulders down the back and let the chest rise. And then begin to rotate the knees in a circle. So we're really rotating through the knee joint and the ankle joint. Get down as low as you can without the toes coming off of the floor. Gently moving through that. Here you might hear a couple cracks, you might not, as you move through that joint, little creaks. And then reverse that. There should be no sharp pain in the knees or the ankles. Just a nice lubrication here through the knee joints as well as the ankle joints. Nice. Coming back to center. The last pose, standing and about hips width apart. It's actually a standing cow-cat. If you do yoga poses and you do cow-cat a lot, it's basically that, but a lot of people also call it other moves. So if you have the hands on the thighs, knees are slightly bent, the tailbone's going to move back first on the inhale, and then lifting through the lower belly, the chest, the shoulders drop back and round towards the back, chin comes back, and then up to the ceiling. So there's a nice arc in the front of the body. On the exhale, the tailbone tucks, rolls through the spine, chest comes down, shoulders come down. Last thing to come down is the chin. So inhale, tailbone back and arch up. Exhale, curl and come down. Inhale, arch up. Exhale, curl. Inhale up. Exhale, curl. Using your breath, and about 8 times here. Even really allowing the hands to move down the legs and float up. And when you feel like that loosened up, come out and give it a nice little shake. We've went through every joint, and it might feel good here just to take a nice standing sun breath up. Exhaling down. One more nice big breath up. Exhaling down. And one more for good measure. Big breath up. Exhale down. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoy this sequence. Again, it can be done at any time. Anytime you feel stiff and just need a little bit of movement through all planes of the body and all joints. Once again, if there's any interest in different topics that you'd like me to share, please contact me at Ayurveda Health for Life. This is Polly Keller. See you next time.